Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 89. Today, I should say tonight, what we are doing is last little bit of shoulder stability work. We started out a couple days ago, did multiple planes of motion. We kind of dissected complex planes of motion into single plane mechanics. We did sagittal plane mechanics, coronal plane mechanics, and transverse plane mechanics. Today, we're talking about shoulder activation and actually activating the posterior cuff. I got a couple users that asked me, like, how exactly do I, or can I make it more clear of how you activate that shoulder to keep it into a nice stable position throughout these movements. So here's what the answer to that is. When we started out a couple days ago and we were doing our press upwards with what we called a Turkish roll, where we came this way. I used a dumbbell this time, so maybe you guys will get what I'm talking about. It'll just be a little bit more. So when we start, what we're trying to do initially, okay, is press upwards, okay? What that happens to do is I'm just pressing my shoulder off. That's going to excite that underneath area right here, lat and serratus anterior area. And then what I'm going to do is, and if you'll get a little better look I'm going to externally rotate or move the top of my hand away from my body. And what that does is that really excites the posterior cuff or the back portion of my shoulder to keep this shoulder stable. You'll notice that I can't externally rotate and kind of dump my shoulder down forwards. For me to dump my shoulder down forwards, I need to internally rotate. So we're trying to stay away from that. We're trying to stay into external rotation of the shoulder, and that's a nice stable position. Now we can apply these two positions, or this same concept, into two other positions, okay? So we have our first position, which is here. Punch, externally rotate, okay? Our next position, what we're going to get into, is a position where we're already up into this angle right here. So we use that same position here, okay? I'm going to punch, externally rotate. So guys, what I want you guys to think about this is like screwing your hand up into the air, okay? So not just coming straight upwards and then externally rotating, but I want you to think about it's screwing outwards and reaching up at the same time. And now probably the most applicable portion would be the overhead one, right? Same thing that's going to happen is I come up, I'm going to screw my arm outwards, okay? So the way that I really show that armpit is by coming up, external rotation of the arm. That's going to put that shoulder down and back and turn on this whole back posterior portion of the shoulder. That's what keeps that into a stable position. That's what keeps us from getting injured. So just a little recap, okay? We're going to do 3 positions. Each time we're going to practice turning the shoulder blade, or I should say the posterior cuff, on and off. It's important that we have really good ability to turn it on and off like this, because let's face it, during a snatch or during a clean or even during a jerk, we can't have a really sturdy or rigid shoulder at all times. It has to be supple and ready to like move through a very, what's the word? It has to be like supple and move like fluidly through that motion, and then boom, turn on whenever we need it to, okay? Into a much more rigid, sturdy position. So to recap, our exercises or our prescription for today: 3 positions. We're going to turn our shoulder blade or our posterior cuff on and off each time. It's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to try to do a set of 10. Nice light weight here, guys. It has nothing to do with heavy weights here. It has to do with being able to turn the rotator cuff on and off. We're going to reach up and externally rotate. Hold for 1 second. Reach up, externally rotate. Hold for 1 second. Collect 10 reps there. Come on to our side, reach up, externally rotate, okay? Corkscrew our body up, or our arm up into the outside. Collect 10 reps there. And then we're going to come up, same thing above. Armpit showing, elbow out, reaching up, and corkscrewing out. Guys, that's our prescription for today. 3 positions, turn on and off, posterior cuff. Until next time, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.